This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you want to pre-order some Bloomburrow, use my link in the description. Okay. Draft number 2. Thanks to Wizards of the Coast for inviting me to the early access event. Not the most exciting pack. There's not really any card in this pack I'm excited to first pick. This is not the greatest signpost. It's not so good that I'm like, yeah, I'll speculate on it. I think Feed the Cycle is probably the one I'm most excited for, but it does have the potential to get awkward if you don't end up able to forage a decent amount of time because of the double black thing. It is probably what we take here. Everything else is like fine. I could even consider Fabled Passage just because it's such good fixing, but Feed the Cycle is probably good enough to take here. So, okay, I do like Hunter's Talent a lot. Now that I realized I got Hivespine Wolverine wrong because it can only fight tokens, this is probably the best green uncommon. I do like the Overseer, but you've got to end up in a black-green deck or it doesn't do its thing. So I think we just take Hunter's Talent, which is good in any green deck. I like this talent as well, but not as much as Hunter's Talent, which is Rabid Bite on the face of it. This is a really good common, speaking of rabbits. We were talking before the draft as we were waiting for it to fire about how rabbits are not actually rodents, even though most people think they are, for those of you on YouTube. I doubt Hunter's... Ooh, boy. I'll take another one. I don't think it'll get bumped up to bomb status. Maybe it will. I don't know. The fact is, it trades 1-for-1 right away. Then it has this effect that gives you value every turn when you level it up. And then level 3 might start drawing you cards. So maybe it's like an A-. But I'm usually sort of skeptical of a card ending up there. But it could happen. I do like the Lookout, too. But Hunter's Talent is just better. It's just better. Squirrels, rats, and mice are all rodents. Those are the 3 rodent decks in this format. Rabbits aren't rodents. We were also talking about before the draft that otters are actually predators. They don't have the rodent teeth thing going on. They're carnivora as opposed to rodentia. They're small and fluffy and cute in North America, but they're really scary elsewhere in the world, especially in South America where they're massive. They're like the size of medium to large sized dogs. And you notice how sharp those teeth are when they're that big. Ooh, okay, all right. I don't know. How is Wick still in this pack? You don't even need to be in a rat deck for him to be good, which we probably won't be, sadly, because we have 2 Hunter's Talents. We'll see what happens. But, so I don't know why he wouldn't have been taken, especially because there's other good black cards. I guess nobody wanted to be in black, but we will happily take a rat legend. We're likely to have like 1 or 2 other rats, but 4 mana for a 2/4 that makes a 1/1 is fine. And then you have like 2 other rats, and that's plenty. Is there? I'm thinking there's 1 hamster card in the main set for this set, but yeah, they're not one of the typal themes though. Maybe the hamster I'm thinking about is in one of the commander decks. Okay. We did just have some fun with Kindle Spark Duo. I think we'd probably take 3 Tree Root Weaver. Just a good 2-drop. Produces some mana. Fixes mana too. Playful Shove and Dire Downdraft. And, there's lots of decent red cards here, but I think we'll take a green one. Okay. So we're not going to be in the rat deck, so I don't think we take this. You kind of have to be. We're going to be, we want a few rats because of Wick, but we don't need them, Peerless Recycling is kind of cool, but I think Baker's Bane Duo is probably just better. Has a useful creature type for us and makes food, which is useful for us. Probably going to be like the premier 2-drop in green, at least at common. So we do need to get creatures in play early for this to be good. That's the one downside about this card, is that sometimes you're going to be in a spot where you just can't play it early. Might take a Marsh Stalker here. I mean, the fact is it's still a 2-mana 3/1, and I like it more than Wear Down or a Hidden Grotto at this point. The Grottos could occasionally let us use Wick's ability, but yeah, I think we'd take a Marsh Stalker here. Okay. Don't really want Stargaze or Bumbleflower's Share Pot. There's a chance, I guess, that we end up in like a rat deck and maybe we splash Hunter's Talent or something. Because, yeah, I mean, I think we take Mind Whisker here. I think it's the best card in this pack. Well, I like the Pathmaker a fair bit too. But I'm less excited about the prospect. Like, we have reasons to end up in rats. We don't have reasons to end up in, like, red right now. I mean, if we end up in black-green, we have, like, sort of a pretty synergistic early game. Yeah, you don't have to have red mana at all. So, you know. I think Wick is really good if you never have the ability to sack the snail. Now, if you can, like, throw the ability into your deck without even trying, then you probably should. This card is interesting. I mean, I don't think it's very good just because ramp is so not a thing in this format, but if you have, like, a bunch of forage, it gets kind of interesting because it ends up being, like, a 2-for-1 for only 3 mana. Ruthless Negotiation's not bad. The question is whether I'd like it more than the Haven, and probably not. Because if we end up in, like, black-blue, having the Haven around to splash Hunter's Talent is probably worth it. Yeah. I think this is good enough that it probably shouldn't still be here. I think we'll take another blue-black Threshold card here. Here, I think we do take Cash Grab. Loads our graveyard. We'll make food some of the time in our deck, too, so it's pretty funny art. Yeah, I mean, I think running... We did it in our last deck. We just had a 2-color deck, and if you don't have a whole bunch of 1-drops, I think Paw Patch Formation's probably a little better than the Banner. I haven't been... I mean, I think I overrated the Banner in the set review. There's a third Hunter's Talent? Okay. Well, I think that means we're black-green, probably. We do need to get some more early creatures. Some with Death Touch would be really good, but Hunter's Talent is, I think, a good reason to be black-green. But yeah, like, this is just good fixing to have one of in your deck, as long as you don't have a bunch of 1-drops, so... Oh yeah, that rare is 5 mana, reanimate a creature, and you can gift your opponent a card, and if you do, you get a 1/1 copy of the creature that you reanimated. I'm not a huge fan of it, which is why I probably should have talked about it, but... Sunshower Druid, Polywallop. I mean, we're not going to have a lot of frogs, but it's okay. So this does give us an early creature, and I think it's a good 1-drop anyway. I do like Polywallop, and we're likely to have a frog or two, but, like, not insanely so. Yeah, I am interested in the frog deck. We didn't play against it at all in our first draft, so we didn't really get to see how that's going. Yeah, we'll take a Sunshower Druid there. This pack is concerning. Lots of good white cards. I mean, there's a chance here we just pivot into, like, green-white or something, I think. If white is this open, where there are 4 cards that I think always make the cut, at least the first copy, maybe not 2 copies of Parting Gust, that's pretty interesting. So I think we're going to take this Jackdaw Savior and see what happens. There wasn't really anything in that pack that made me want to stay in black-green, so I think taking a look at white is worth doing. We did not play against, at least not a red-black Lizards deck that, like, did the thing. The Orator's okay, especially when we have 3 Hunter's Talents. Like, just getting 2-drops is probably what we want to do. And it has graveyard value. It's not a card I love. Like, it's pretty replaceable in medium overall, I think, but we really need to just have random 2-drops that can fight our opponent's 2-drops since we have 3 Hunter's Talents. Like, that's going to be a lot of what we try to do with this deck, I think. All right, Daggerfang Duo mills us for our cards that care about that. We do also have Mudflat Village, but I think this is probably a little better. It's also got Death Touch, which good with our Hunter's Talents. This is basically a Hunter's Talent deck at this point, so. Also, random rats have extra value in our deck because of Wick. Okay. This is a nice 2-drop. One that brawls pretty well with Hunter's Talent. I'm just going to say that about every pick. I definitely think it's better than Early Winter. You know, it's pretty medium removal spell that you really only want to play. Like, it'll make the cut sometimes, but won't most of the time. 5-mana removal spells that don't do anything but remove, they just aren't where you want to be in Limited anymore. Needs some other thing attached to it. Caretaker's Talent is kind of interesting. It's super strong if in like green-white. It's probably not good enough for us. Could take another Paw Patch formation, but I probably am just supposed to take this thing. It's not great, but it's a creature. And if you didn't hear, we have Hunter's Talent, so we need creatures. It's also got 4 power, so, and it's a rat. So, you know. And don't think we play Jackdaw Savior in the end here. Ooh, yeah. I love another Baker's Bane Duo, and I think I like it more than the Root Weaver given where our deck's ending up. Food and 2-drops is what we're looking for. Yeah, another Orator is fine. So we did end up in a Rodent deck. I whined about wanting to end up in one, so don't think Heirloom Epic is for us. I'll take another one of these. Yeah, I think Parting Gust is good enough that it should stay here. I think people are underrating that one so far. I guess I'll take a Bell in case I do decide to splash something. Yeah, High Stride is not that good, but I'm really surprised that Pathmaker was still there. Am I just wrong about this card? It does have an awkward stat line, but it's a 2-for-1, so it's a little surprising to me. So how many raccoons do we have? We do have 3. Which makes this interesting. I'm probably just supposed to take the big ol' moose, though. Because it's a big ol' moose. So, so I think it's where we go here. Flashing it in is great. You know, you're going to get 2-for-1s with it, and it can just win games on its own. Okay. Scrap Shooter's pretty sweet. Yeah, I think we take it here. Yep, I think it is what our pick is. Ooh, Vine Reap Mentor. Yes, please. See, this draft feels like it's going really well as opposed to our last one. And then our last deck ended up being kind of okay. So hopefully I'm not wrong in the other direction here. Yeah, Colossal Dreadmoose. Man, I didn't think of that one. I thought of Colossal. I thought of Raging Monstra Boar for the 5-mana 5/5 trample haste reach, but not that one. So, man, that would have been nice in our last deck. We just had so much removal. And this is pretty strong. So, we've got a hard picks here. This might be worth splashing. I think we might have enough removal for it to make sense. And then we have 3 really good green cards. I mean, I'm probably supposed to take Vren, though. We do have the Fountainport Bell plus a 2-mana creature and Uncharted Haven. Here's another mana creature that I think we take, given our last pick. We already have 1 Peerless Recycling, don't we? Maybe not. But I still think we take the Root Weaver here. Another Root Weaver, but I think we take Savor here for sure. It's a nice removal. So there's still a Starfall Invocation. The more I think about this card, the less I think it should have been number 1 on my top 10 bomb list, just because it's more situational. But it definitely shouldn't still be here either. What's happening? Yeah, we'll take Savor here. I think we have enough fixing for Vren without needing to give up on a Savor. I think I'd rather have Downwind Ambusher than Overprotect. It's funny if white really is that open, because it feels like black-green is crazy open, too. Cash Grab is what we have. So another Fountain Port Bell. I don't think this is particularly good. It's just too slow. It is a little better than I thought, because I was thinking it needed 2 supply counters to draw cards. It only needs 1, but we'll take another one of these. Yeah, I don't think we're going to play more of those, but... Tidecaller Mentor is kind of interesting. I don't think we're so good at the graveyard that we really want to splash it, but since we're splashing Vren, we could think about it. I don't think the book will be good enough for us. I think you kind of need to be in green-white for the book to go off. Ooh. That free Corpseberry Cultivator feels pretty good. See, that draft, we picked the right lane, I think, and we really ended up with what on paper at least looks like a really good deck. Doing synergy things. Yeah, I don't think we want to play the Mentor. This is easier and better to splash because you don't need to do as much to make it work. We're only going to run 1 island, though. And, like, 8 forests. And we can probably cut some of our mini 2-drops. So, it doesn't feel... I don't want High Stride. There's an easy cut. These aren't great. They are rats, but given what our deck is, they're not, like, amazing. It's probably the weakest card in our deck. Well, the Orators aren't great either. I can probably cut at least 1. And then, like, 1 Intimidator. Why do I have more islands again? What's happening here? Don't do that. So, Paw Patch Formation's not great. It's probably too narrow for us. Oh yeah, I'm running 18 lands. Good call. We don't want that many. And then our last cut, is it supposed to just be an Intimidator? It's a little much to say 1 Fountain Port Bell can take the place of a land, I think. I think that's a little dangerous to go in that direction. I think you kind of need 2 before I feel good about cutting a land. That said, we do have a lot of 2-drops. We have 2 3-tree Root Weavers. We can maybe get away with 1 fewer land. But I also feel like there's a card somewhere in here that's just not that good. So, like, this 2-drop isn't great in our deck, just because we don't have that many rats, and we're not that good at getting Threshold. In fact, our whole mechanic about foraging keeps us from getting Threshold. The only thing is, it is good with Hunter's Talent. I feel like the Threshold angle of our deck just isn't, it isn't that pronounced. So a card that is mostly about the graveyard, maybe we don't really want. We have a bunch of, well, not a bunch of forage. We have some forage, yeah. Not a lot, which also makes Cash Grab less good. So, I think we cut it and lean in the direction of just being like a creature deck, basically. Yeah, and I think we only run 1 Bell. I mean, I could put in another and then cut a land, I guess. That's not the craziest. That's probably slightly better than running a land. Let's try it. It's early in the format. I think we want to cut a swamp more than anything, because, like, Yeah. We need to be playing green 2-drops a little bit more, yeah. Alright. Well, I think we can keep it thanks to Fountain Port Bell. And I think I play the Bell on turn 1. Yeah, now I really want to play the Bell on turn 1. So I can play turn 2 Vine Reap Mentor. So yeah, we will put the Swamp on top. The only awkward thing at some point we're gonna want blue too, but I think playing the Mentor is pretty good. It's probably fine to trade with Nettleguard here. I mean, I end up with 2 food. So I would probably do it. It's not quite a 2-for-1, but it's not that far off. Let's see. I think we probably play the Boxer and then Sunshower. Yeah. A 1/3 is not bad. I'm trying to decide if I want to put the counter somewhere else. There's a lot of tricks in every set now, which I think is good in some ways. You know, they want the game to be more combat-oriented, but man, it's like every color has one really good trick these days in every set. Am I willing to offer a trade here? I think I am. I don't think I'd block with the 3/3 if I were them, though. Yeah, they're just going to take it. Or no, they're not. What just happened? Yeah, so then we go Bark Knuckle Boxer. Sun Shower Druid. I guess a 4/3 indestructible is pretty good, so we'll go there. You can cash this in to draw a card at some point, which isn't bad. It is a bit of a bummer that we had to search up black, but we didn't have much of a choice. You know, black is a color we need more. It was also more likely we draw it eventually, but it does make me sad that we have Vren in our hand. It counts only for spells, Expend does. Only for spells. Let's go ahead and crack this. Okay. Combat, huh? Yeah, that works pretty well, actually. We're going to pass for now. This Veteran Guard Mouse is a pretty big problem. It's kind of funny our opponent's green-white, but they feel like a red-white Valiant deck so far. But that's where we are. Flashing in Galewind Moose at some point to give this indestructible is going to be pretty hilarious. Yeah, that card's sweet. It is for sure. That is a very, very good common. I don't really have good blocks for any of this stuff. Well, I do for the 3/3. I may... Kind of feels like maybe I'm just supposed to block both of these. They have 1 green mana. There are a few tricks they could have, but blocking both of these is, like, pretty good, especially when we want to be foraging. Yeah, high stride. That's okay. We have exactly 3 cards in our graveyard. I think we're going to go after our graveyard because we don't have that much. We took most of the graveyard-oriented stuff out of our deck so that we can really focus on using the graveyard, and gaining life later might be pretty important, so... Yep, the symbol for expend is a raccoon face. What a weird sentence. Short bow's pretty sweet when you have Valiant. This is the most go off I've seen someone go with Valiant so far. Which is something I wanted to see, so it's good to see. Good news is all our food makes it kind of hard for them to just, like, run us over. Yeah, they can give that +1/+0 and indestructible every turn, which is less than ideal. I think we need to gain some life here. A 6th land would have been nice. This will let us play Vren in the future. And the moose, for that matter, I suppose. Yeah, that guard mouse is one of the sweeter of those hybrids. I liked it a lot in the set review. So they have the mana here to buff the whole board and give veteran guard mouse +1/+0 and indestructible again. I was going to say, there's no reason you have to do it now. Just going to throw Sunflower Druid in front of that, I think. Yep, you get the Valiant for everything that has Valiant. Yeah, each time you move it. So the really annoying thing here is I don't have any good blocks for Baker's Bane Duo. Like, they're just going to buff whatever I block. Well, I guess this is an okay block for Baker's Bane Duo. Yeah, let's do that. Down to 6 we go. Okay. So we got Galewind Moose mana now. And I think that's what we do rather than play Vren. Like, a 3-4 is just not big enough right now to matter. But yeah, we've been on the back foot this whole game so far. I'm glad it killed the thing that can buff their whole board, though. Thank goodness for that. So, gonna kill you, and I'm gonna block you and hope you don't have another way to buff it, I guess. If they have another way to buff it, I basically lose anyway, so maybe I'm just supposed to block the rabbit. The only problem with blocking with the Root Weaver is that then I don't have blue mana. Yeah, I mean, if they have a trick that can blow out the Galewind Moose block, I'd probably lose anyway. So I think maybe I'm supposed to do this. I lose either way. Like, this instance, I lose immediately is the difference, instead of in, like, a turn. I'm probably supposed to block. Let's see what happens. Like, if I can kill both of these, sure, I don't get to play Vren, but... I do get to grow my Corpseberry Cultivator some more. Yeah, that card's good. 4-3 and 3-3 for 4 mana. I kind of need to draw a creature I can play. That is not a creature I can play. It's not quite lethal, is the good news for me. I do have 2 big creatures. That is a huge squirrel. It's even bigger than the moose now. Oh god, that's annoying. Okay. It's weird that they're a green-white Valiant deck, but it's working. It is working. Huh. I'm a little surprised by that particular buff. Okay. Well, have to chump in an ugly way and hope they don't have a trick here and then take 1. They almost assuredly have a trick, but... Yep. The beatdown was real. Alright. They've got the lethals, and we've got nothing. Yeah, that mouse, you know, I liked it a lot in the set review, but it is really hard to interact with. Like, we had huge creatures that still, it was like, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Veteran Guard Mouse is going to destroy you. So. Not getting blue mana early for Vren probably hurt us. Like, if we knew things were going to go exactly how they did. But we were pretty much overwhelmed that entire game. It's not like a 3-4 would have helped that much. I guess it would have turned our trades into tokens. So, yeah, we never drew one of our Hunters whatevers, that's for sure. When you have 3 of them. Those would have been really good to draw at like any point during that game. Especially when they were tapped out and we could have killed the mouse without it becoming indestructible, but hey. it doesn't always, you know, variance is part of magic, as they say. So just got to live with it. Unfortunately. I don't think I had outs, per se. But yeah, I had ways to not die. I mean, those are outs, but I guess in the sense that I don't think drawing one of those necessarily would have won us the game, but it definitely would have helped us a lot. Okay, so now we have it, but we have it with our tiny creatures. I'm kind of thinking about waiting to play the Druid to buff one of these so that Hunter's Talent is better, but if I can just use Hunter's Talent to kill an X1, I'll do it with Sunshower Druid into Hunter's Talent, and that is not too bad. Yeah, we had a nice board for Hunter's Talent, that's for sure. Okay, well. Now I probably do just play our Sunshower Druid and buff it. We have our blue mana this time. Ooh, God. That is bad. Can't kill it right away. I can kill the Raider, though. But yeah, we're not in a good spot here. Yep. Well, that's helpful. Might be about to get run over by the black-red deck now. I think we try to double block Gev and see what happens. Yep. Alright, now we play Wick. I think it's probably worth blocking. Yeah, that's a 4/4 with Menace. We might be able to turn the corner here. Gonna need some help, that's for sure, but we might be able to do it thanks to our Moose. God, it's such an ugly block to block that Spark Shooter. If they have removal, like, it's so bad. Whereas, at least if I block Agate Blade Assassin, it's not a complete blowout if they have removal or a trick. But that Spark Shooter is a real problem when they can actually, you know, get the counter on it. We are not in a good spot here. Yeah, I think we're about to get destroyed again. We have food, which makes our life a little bit better. And I think this is a little better than flashing in the Moose. Maybe not, but, you know. They had a nut draw, pretty much. Like, if you have Gev on turn 2 and your opponent can't kill it, and you just play a bunch of lizards, like, your opponent's going to lose 9 times out of 10. That's just how it goes. So if they kill one thing, yeah, there's no point in trying to block beyond that because things go really poorly for us if we do. One removal spell still blows us out if we block with all 4, so might as well just block with those 2. Okay. Wonder if they also have the -1/-1. Nope, they've got another one of those. Drop us to 3. We are going to make some food. Eat some food, rather. Eat some more food. Play our land. Pass our turn. Try to block. Okay. Oh no. The Kindle Spark duos, man, are a real big problem for us, that's for sure. Guess we're going to start trying to draw cards. Yeah, that's the plan here. Hope we can draw removal for those annoying things. That's not removal. So, pings us down to 6. More food is pretty good. No, they could have triple blocked, and I only would have killed one thing, since they have 2/2/4s. I don't think it was worth it. Well, we do get another squirrel token here. I mean, another... Never mind. I was thinking this was a rat. 'Tis not. Yeah, I guess I killed 2 things. You're right. But then I also don't draw a card, so I don't know that it's really worth doing. I think we need to draw cards, keep drawing food, and find removal more than we want to send in the moose. Because we're going to win this game if we can make it go long enough. It's just a question of whether we can with all these pings. Ugh. Why do I have to brick on the draw? Oh, man. I can do red with this, and then if we ever get a snail... I shouldn't have to brick on draws when I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. That's how I feel. Okay, okay. I like that. So if they play a spell here, I kind of need to gain life in response to it. Okay. Ooh, there was a chance that they'd have a... Ooh. Oh. Okay. I think we need to kill the pingers more than we need to kill Gev. As crazy as that sounds. Because the pingers can do damage to us no matter what, and Gev cannot. Alright, so we play Vren. Then I think I'm going to attack with Baker's Bane Duo and buff it. Yeah. They probably just take 4. Yep. And then we go Hunter's Talent. Kill one of the Kindle Spark duos. End our turn, get another token. This time from Vren. The question is whether we can make things last long enough. Okay. That's a pretty good draw here, too. We might manage to stabilize thanks to our legendary rats. We just might manage to do it. So I can sack the snail and do 2 to something here. Yeah, that's going to end up being really good. And draw a bunch of cards. Ooh, I can actually do 4. Yeah. If I play this first. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I don't quite have the mana for that. I have exactly the mana for that, actually. I just have to make sure I leave up blue, red, and black. Oh, you're right. The snail does only hit players. I still think we play this up front here. Okay. Then we go to combat. Attack with snail. Do we want to hold on to the snail? I can do it at instant speed, so we'll attack with the snail, attack with Baker's Bane Duo, and attack with the moose. And the 5/5 token? Yeah, that's probably worth it. I guess I could have leveled this up again. There's so much going on this board that it's kind of hard to sort through. Okay. Well, turns out Wick plus Vren can do some things. And that's what happens when we draw Hunter's Talent. So the main reason I don't stream as much as I used to is because I don't have as much consecutive time where I can record, and so I've been recording draft videos more often. Okay, we can get away with keep here. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to do the same thing on turn 2 with the same mana in play. Although I used an Uncharted Haven to get there. Ugh. Findley Mentor is so frustrating to play against. Which, you know, we've been playing it against people, but... yeah, that wasn't very nice. Guess we'll stick our island on top. Oh. Freaking Hunter's talent, too. I don't want to have to play against it. I just want to play with it. Probably going to end up killing this stupid Vine Reap Mentor, especially if they buff it here. The reason I don't feel great about doing it is because they get food out of it. Wouldn't hate if they tried to play another fight spell here, though. Then I would feel good about Saver. You are not very nice. Ooh. Well, we've got removal in our hand, so I think playing this out and hoping we can go off is probably the way to go. Yeah, the good news is this has ward, so there's a pretty good chance we're going to get that first rat token at least. They do have a bunch of food, which in our last game, we had a bunch of food, and that's the only reason we survived, because we gained a bunch of life. Our splash might make the difference. I mean, our Vren is really, really strong when you have removal in your hand, so... They do have 4 mana. This card interests me. I'm interested to see how it goes. Obviously, they have Forage, and that's, I think, like the only place where it makes sense to play it. Plus, you have a splash of some kind. Ooh. All right, well, now I think we play our own Hunter's Talent here. That gets exiled. Then we attack them for 3. Then we get a token. They're splashing something, just like we are. I'm glad it's each instep, so I can kill this here. Which I think I will. Get another rat. We're gonna forage. Oh wait, did I wait too long? I think I waited too long since Arena skips to the instep the way it does. Yeah, I'm actually gonna wait. Nah, that's silly. I'm still gonna do it. It's tempting to try to wait, but, you know. So, let's play the Intimidator here. Waiting was tempting just because I know I would have gotten another token, but seems a little too cute. That is one of those things where, like, if I'd been playing in person, it would have been easy to say at the beginning of your or before the beginning of your instep, but in paper, it really should give you an automatic hold when you have a card in play like Vren, but, you know, it's whatever. They're about to get some stuff back from their graveyard. I don't know if I love that. I can live with that. I mean, if they block, I get another token, so I kind of doubt they will. I guess I'm going to go ahead and draw a card here. I guess I should have done that first. The Hunter's talents are finally showing up, you know. However, if I had drawn first, I think I would have won that turn. All right. Well, Vren is really good. Not too surprising, especially when you have 3 Hunter's talents. You know, that's going to make a difference. They had a way better start than we did, but Vren definitely got the job done. Okay, looking pretty good. 2-drop plus Hunter's Talent is a hand I think I'll always be kind of happy with. Yeah, that is like my favorite feeling in any kind of Magic, but especially in Limited, where you stabilize from behind. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but, you know, it's my favorite thing to do. Well, I like that they didn't have a 2-drop. Why would you have cut Vren? We have enough fixing to make it work. Well, they didn't get any food out of that, so I'm more okay with it. Looks like another black-green deck, though. It is a little sad here that if they don't play something I can kill here, I don't have anything to do on this turn that's especially exciting, other than put an island on top of my deck. Wow, there's some graveyard glitch. I've clicked on it a few times. It didn't show up when I wanted it to, and then it shows up later. I'm sure I'm about to see it. Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay, well now we don't need to put an island on top, really, so probably just draw a card. So we'll go blue. I mean, we could go red, but I think it's better to just straight up draw a card with Fountain Port Bell than it is to try to get our snail thing online, which is super corner case. So we will decline, and this is basically just 2 mana, draw a card, plus help with forage a little bit. It's going pretty well. We went 4-3 in our first draft, and we're 2-1 right now with this one. Yeah, we do have the mana moles, it's true. That is true. They didn't want removal. What does that mean? Means they want mana, most likely. Or they wanted to pay 2 mana for a 4-3 and a 2-2. Which I don't blame them. I'm 4-3 and a 3-3 rather. Even worse for us. Oh, they can only do it once though, actually. Yeah. You have to be able to forage twice, so they're going to go with a 2-1 and a 3-3, I think. Which is still a pretty good deal for 4 mana. Okay, so I guess we're going to play out Wick, because we have another rat in our hand, and killing the 2-1 right now is pretty meaningless. Okay, so what's it going to fight? My token? That seems weird. Probably put a counter somewhere. Yeah, you can pay 4 mana. There's a few different things you can do in terms of how much you spend and what you get back, but yeah. Okay, so we're going to take 4. I really need to get a big creature out there, which the Thorn Plate Intimidator will help us with. I imagine they pay 3. I think I'd pay 3. Okay. They didn't want to pay 3. And pass. So this will set up Hunter's Talent eventually. Yeah, the flavor is kind of funny when you choose to forage on the token copy instead of the other one. I really didn't want that to happen, but that's what happened. Let's hope they don't have a trick, huh? Luckily, they don't seem to. So I can get the Intimidator back, but it costs a ton of mana. It's probably still what I'm supposed to do, especially because I'll be able to kick it. Yeah. I can do this at instant speed, right? Yeah. So I think we pass, do this at instant speed, and then get back the Intimidator, get both copies, which will give us a 2/2 snail, and we get both triggers, and then we can finally do something with Hunter's Talent. Luckily, we can just afford to chump block here. I may not even chump block, actually. I think I just take 4. Yeah, so then we do this. Get back our Intimidator. Yeah, then we... Offspring. Lots and lots and lots of triggers. Okay. Well, That means I can attack with this. Take that. And we'll end our turn. Yeah, Marshstalker is a good draw right now, that's for sure. I wish they would have destroyed my Fountainport Bell instead, but what are you going to do? Yeah, see, that's when you don't want to draw your ramp card very much. When you're suddenly way behind on board. I mean, we're going to kill this, and then, like, it's pretty much game over. Not completely, but close. Well, now we kill both of them. Yeah. So we go Hunter's Talent. Then we go Downwind Ambusher. Then we go Persistent Marshstalker. They have food, but they have to draw something real here or die, and even if they draw something real here, they're probably dead. That does increase their chances of drawing something real, searching up a land like that. Every game has kind of gone like this, where we were sort of behind, but then we have a couple big turns, and it's like game over. Oh man, if it buffed other rats, that is a really good draw for them, unfortunately. I mean, I think they probably still lose, but that is like exactly what they needed. And this time they are going to get a 4-3 and a 3-3. We can give this bad boy Trample with this. Ooh, I don't know about sacking your food when you're at a low life total. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm definitely just supposed to attack with everything. This deck has been pretty fun to play. That is for sure. Looks pretty good. We got all... Well, I would keep thinking that's a rat. We've got a bunch of rats. They're not all rats. Black-green squirrels plus 2 rats. We actually have more than 2 rats, but... You know, so far, I would say... It's a small sample size, and I've seen other people go off with just... Like, we had that black-red opponent who was going off with, like, all lizards. But both the decks we drafted didn't go... Which I thought was going to be more of a sub-theme, creature types, but it seemed even more of a sub-theme than I expected. Like, neither of the decks we've drafted really had, like, a ton of creatures with one creature type, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We had kind of a mix. I have gotten Vren out yet. Not on that board, though. Did I get it? Have I gotten it twice? I think I've gotten it twice. So do I want to play my Marsh Stalker here more than I want to play the Orator? I think probably. It's not the worst thing to trade for a 1-drop because I can get it back later. Type stuff has been less prominent for the most part than I expected, but it's also a small sample size, and we have seen people go off with types. But, like, we even saw a green-white Valiant deck, which thematically isn't really what you're supposed to do, but obviously it worked. I think we just take 1, because I'd rather swing in for 3 for sure. Oh. Rat Squirrel. So I'm greedy, so I'm probably going to wait to get Wick in play first. So let's attack. Then we're going to play Bonebind Orator. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there's not ways to target your stuff, but red-white is where you've got this critical mass of targeting stuff and creatures with Valiant. So it's gone a little different. That deck was a little different than I expected, I guess is what I'm saying. So we'll play Wick up front here. Attack with both of those. Dang. I'm a little surprised they just took 6, but no food. We've seen 2 people whiff. I think if you can't get food out of this, it's probably not good enough. That Head of the Homestead is going to be real annoying. That's pretty annoying, too. Let's see. What do I want to do here? We're going to go with the Intimidator. Yeah, that's going to be bad. The Head of the Homestead. Decks that can go super wide with bodies. I mean, it's definitely going to slow us down at least. I don't hate making them discard Feather of Flight, I can tell you that much. Probably trade off their 1/3 here, but that's fine. Then we'll play our Bell, and I do think we put the island on top. Yeah, so they've got 2 flyers who can keep coming at us, and they're about to play a 3/2 and a couple of 1/1s, which I don't love. They're also going to gain 3 life off of it. So we do need to find removal. Maybe I should have not put the island on top with that in mind. Yeah, Surveil can help us find it, I guess. So yeah, green, blue, black is Sultai. I'm okay with trading for Head of the Homestead here. Then we'll play our Daggerfang duo. Mill 2 does increase our chances in a technical sense of drawing removal. There's also a chance we mill removal, but if we're just looking at the numbers... Oh! Oh, the numbers. So we milled a Hunter's Talent, which is a little less than ideal. But... oh, God. And then we drew a forest. I can use this, and I probably should, actually. Yeah, it's snail time. Okay, good. So now we go Hunter's Talent, kill the 3/3. Baker's Bane duo. How about that? We sacked a snail. Okay. Well, almost assuredly they've got the +2/+1 trick here, so we have to block in such a way that we still kill everything. That's what that means, more or less. So, 6. Yeah, you won't kill Wick with the buff. Yeah, that should work. Alright, that makes it even more surprising. I was really expecting the +2/+1 trick there. I don't know what happened there. I think maybe they just forgot to cast it. They might have still lost, because I still would have had Wick and like a bunch of stuff, and I still would have killed most of their board. Maybe that's why they didn't cast it, because they were like, man, they predicted that I had the trick. So I might as well just give up. But if you keep that +2/+1 trick in mind and you have a board where you can still block and kill everything like we did, it's not that scary. Yeah, that might have been it too. I don't think they had to do it though. Like, that game was going to go on for a while. I mean, I was going to level up my Hunter's Talent eventually, but... So has Wick been the MVP? I kind of feel like it is. Vren, whatever it is, also been pretty good. For sure. Yeah, I did have Wick, but I'd also expended... They didn't know that, but I think we'd played pretty much every rat in our deck. Of course, we probably get Threshold after that sequence, which means we can get back our Persistent Marsh Stalker, so... They were in a bad place, but I don't know... I mean, I guess if I were them and I had that Rabbit +2/+1 trick, I probably would have done what they did. Because if my opponent just blocks... doesn't realize I have it, it's usually going to be pretty good, but luckily I thought about it. There's plenty of things I forget about or cards I read wrong, but in that instance, I thought about the card that could beat us. The Moose has not done much. I hate to say it. Man, we got all our mana. So, if I play another Root Weaver here, I could play the Moose next turn. That's probably better than playing Daggerfang duo. Let's attack them first, because if they kill our Root Weaver or something, then... Okay. Oh. Yeah, so let's play another one. Turn 4 Moose is pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Okay, well... First impressions are that so far the format's pretty fun, and there's a lot of synergy overall. Although the creature type stuff hasn't mattered quite as much as I expected, but it is early. So we're just going to pass here and slam a Moose at the end of their turn. Not really supposed to do that during this event, but that's okay. I don't know how much I think that rule is necessary and limited. In Constructed, I think it makes a little more sense because you're showing people like brand new decks, but that is the rule. You have to wait till your opponent has lethal at least, but yeah. We do get told not to quit early. Although, to be fair, I did not closely look at the stuff this time, and maybe that rule isn't part of this one. I don't know. It's kind of an awkward hand with no green mana. A forest makes this hand incredible, but I think we have to mulligan it. Alright, this hand is much better for sure. I think we probably just get rid of the tap land, although... I mean, I'm going to play it on one anyway, but yeah, we'll get rid of it. Hunter's Talent has also been great. You know, I could see it being the MVP as well, which doesn't surprise me too much. It is a bonkers card for an uncommon. Let's go with Marsh Stalker. It fights better. Yeah, the rat value engines have been sweet. Man, they ran that out as just nothing. Man, I'm greedy enough that it's pretty tempting to try to wait till I can downwind ambusher it, but it probably makes more sense to use Hunter's Talent here than anything. Seen a lot of squirrel decks this draft. Lots of black-green. They milled their Hunter's Talent. That is strange. That card is pretty sweet. So I think the Intimidators probably are, well, playing it on 4 is pretty good here, actually, and this does stuff from the graveyard. There is a chance we can't play anything this turn, but luckily we drew something we can play. Yeah, so let's play Dagger Fang Duo. We are going to mill 2. Lands might have been nice at some point, but it does get us closer to Surveil. Yeah, that might be Black's best uncommon. We'll see. It's definitely on the short list. We do really need to draw a 4th land, although it's nice we can at least level up if we whiff. And that's what we're going to do. We do have him at 9, so despite not having the greatest mana in the world, so I like that. Yeah, it's going to be a 3/4. Good news is a 3/4 still dies to Persistent Marsh Stalker plus Hunter's Talent. Unless they do that. Oof. Starting to turn the game around on us. We could have returned the Warlock, but I guess they're just trying to do damage. Oh, God. Yeah, that's... We've had some nice luck, I think, but not in this game. Hit us for 8 here. Even Saver doesn't save us, so we will scoop. Yeah, those draws were rough, but such things happen. There were a lot of cards we could draw that were bad, though, when you think about it. Like, all our 4-drops were bad. All our, like, fight removal was bad. So, this hand looks much better. I mean, we had lots of good draws, too, like a 4th land. But there were lots of bad ones. Well, this hand just got even better. That again. Well, I think we probably get rid of the bell. Yeah, so I think we go ahead and play a Hunter's Talent here. While I have a creature in play, I might as well do it. Hello, Starmanda. Thanks for making a Twitch account. Fourth land would be nice. Fountain Bell could have gotten it for us, but it was definitely the least impactful card in our deck by a wide margin. And getting this back is kind of sweet. We definitely pay life here. We could sack a food. Sacking a food might just be better in our deck. It's not like we're that good at foraging. That's funny. So Hunter's Talent number 2. Kill that. Swing for 3. Play the bell to get our 4th land for sure next turn. That does not worry me a whole lot. We are going to attack first here in case they try to do something with a trick or whatever. If they don't, we just play Wick in our second main phase. Yeah. Yeah, Hunter's Talent is sweet. This is actually my second deck, so I tried to force a Rodent deck, but it was so unopened that I couldn't do it in our first draft. Sadly. And this deck is all about squirrels and rats, though, so I guess I can live. I might kill Wick here. We haven't had anybody kill Wick yet, which is kind of wild. At least not at a meaningful point in the game. Which has been pretty good for us, overall. I think they're about to Mudflat Village? Yeah. I wonder what I discard. Probably Baker's Bane Duo. Just because we have creatures. Ooh. Uh-oh. Not Mabel. Mabel makes our lives a lot more difficult. Okay, so let's level up one of these. But I think we attack with everything, because even if they block with Mabel, we can kill her with the 1/1 with Mabel. We can kill it with Saver. So, yeah. Intriguing. So I could Saver here and hit them for 7. It's probably what I'm supposed to do. The bad news is they are going to make me discard my Baker's Bane duo, but then I still have Hunter's Talents and can give Trample to things. Yeah, so let's Saver. Drop them to 4. We can draw a card in response to the trigger here, at least. Although they get to make the choice, so I probably not supposed to draw first. Well, they only get to make the choice if they hit me. Oh, okay. Well, they sacrificed Cragflame, at least. I think they might still be dead. It's going to be close. So it gets a Blight counter. We're going to sack a food. Okay. Ooh, the buff from playing the Marsh Stalker might just do enough for it to be lethal. So if I attack with all 3... How does the math shake out here? It's not quite lethal, is it? So we're probably supposed to hold back, I guess. Yeah. Problem is, then they can attack with the Viper, so I think we have to wait. Unfortunately. Wonder if they attack us with the Viper. They get the trigger twice. Okay, they decided not only not to attack me. Man, that is concerning. What are the other 2 cards in their hand if they don't even want to play the Warlock? Okay. Well, in the interest of being cautious here. Maybe I'm supposed to... They've got to have interaction in their hand if this is their game plan. So I could attack with this and buff it twice, but I could also just level this up Of course, if they have removal, they'll be able to use it, and then I won't draw a card this turn anyway. So, yeah, let's go for it. If we can get them to... I guess if they kill a rat, it's pretty bad for me in retrospect. Like if they kill Wick here. Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they just kill our Marsh Stalker. See, killing Wick would have been a way bigger blowout, so I'm glad they didn't do it. And now we're wide enough, and they burned their removal spell, that we might just be able to do lethal. The discard effect doesn't matter anymore. If we draw something that costs 4 mana, we'll really be in business. Yeah, so now they're playing it out because they have to. One hopes. Got one card left in their hand. I'm going to hold on to this food because there's not really any reason not to. They've got one card in their hand. If we give this trample... Oh, God, it's scary to swing with everything, though. We have to hope that card in their hand is a dud. I guess if I put both buffs on this, these can't really... they can't block it effectively. So let's do that. Yeah, I love the Arden Baker's Bane duo, too. Okay, that does not solve the problem, luckily. Yeah. That was a close one. That was a close one. Close in a different way than the other ones have been. The other ones have been close, and then we turned the game around. And that one, it sort of felt like they might turn it around. All right. So we're either getting 7 wins or 6 wins with this one, which checks out, I think. Okay. All right. Put our island on top. Get Vren. We haven't gotten Vren going in a while. Wick has done the job, but... The Bell has felt pretty solid overall. Like the fact that you can just draw a card with it when you want to. Yep, this is our 6-2 game. Okay, well, let's crack the Bell. I haven't gotten to play this thing yet. I mean, it's mostly just a 3-mana 4/4, but those are pretty good in our deck. We're not putting a land on top this time. Can blow that up with Scrap Shooter. Don't know why I would, though. I think we play Vren here, partly because of Expend. Yeah. Plus, should we ever draw a removal, we're going to get to go off. You can't sack... Well, the bell goes to the graveyard for forage, yeah. That does help. If they want to kill Vren, they probably have to tap all their mana, so I'm kind of okay with it. Especially because they'll just slam a 4/4 on the table in the next turn. Hello, Gurizuri. It's been fun so far, yeah. Oh, hello. Dang. That is aggressive. It's the charging monster boar itself. Of course, they have to have a creature who's too big for Hunter's Talent. Okay. Well, we're going to swing for 5 and then play our Scrap Shooter. We are not giving them a card. Yeah, I like this board. I like the music, too. It's very what I would expect from Bloomburrow. Yeah, Scrap does have reach. Sometimes that comes up. Yeah. We only have to pay 3, which is a bit of a bummer. Well, now we Hunter's Talent plus Savor on the boar, because that'll also buff this. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So, we go Hunter's Talent. It's a huge boar, if you look at the art. That's why it has reach. It's not the... Well, it is the size of a normal boar, but most of the beings in this world are the size of normal animals. So, compared to other birds, for example, he's massive. So... Throw 7 damage at them. They go to 3. Yeah, any of the Calamity Beasts, which are these elemental creatures, kind of makes sense for them to have reach without it being too crazy. Just because they're all huge for this plane, I should say. They're huge. So, kind of think we have to not attack here. I mean, I could make this a 5/4 trample, but it seems like just starting to draw cards is better. Probably the better option here. Yeah, especially because they can gain some life, which... makes it a lot less good to throw our 4/4 at them, even with trample. Yeah. That hurts. I'm glad I have food. Uh-oh. Fight spell? Fight spell. Maybe not. Or they're seeing if they actually want to use it. More food is good. Yeah, we have a bunch of good draws. Like, any removal spell would be pretty good, too. That's not a bad draw. When they're at 6, it's not like they have a good choice. Yeah, that triggers all of them. Let's see how aggressive they decide to get here, because I can gain 6 life, so... So, swinging at me with everything is not a great plan. It would be awesome for us if they did. Wow. So, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I can gain 6. So, I do have to block something. So, that means 9 gets through, but I can gain a bunch of life, so I don't really care. Okay, so Thorn Plate Intimidator is interesting. Yeah, so we're just gonna play it. Oh crap! I'm really shocked I haven't done that already today. Usually I do that with new mechanics. Click too fast. I wanted to make 2 copies, which would have been a lot better. Would have been a lot better. Okay, then. What do they swing at me for? I mean, if they whiff on their draw... Oh, God, that was bad. That was bad. That is not bad. Hopefully they drew a land to make up for my clicking on the wrong side of a modal card that I could have paid the kicker on. Oh god, that's exactly... It'll buff all of their creatures, including these, and give them trample. We probably would have lost anyway, is the only solace I can take in this situation. Because, yeah, they would have sacked like one thing... But, yeah, I mean, that's the... We still would have lost, at least. Even though that play was really dumb. Although I would have had a 1-1 also, who could block. Although these things, like, all have Trample or Menace. So, you know. Let's block like we're not going to die. And then die. We still would have lost, though. You know, that always makes me feel better about a misplay. A misclick, if you will. Yeah, drawing a card that it triggers their expend and made their 2/3s into 4/3 tramplers. Like, they probably had, 2 or 3 cards that were like that, because they all just had to have Offspring. Like an expensive... No, they didn't have to be that expensive. Any card with Offspring does that. But it still stinks that they drew it then. So, like... Come on, But... Such is life.